What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today we're going to be diving deep into the brand new score streak they added to Black Ops 7 just a few days ago. This is the Deadeye Drone. And with this, the basic idea behind this is it's a drone you fly around that has a mounted sniper rifle on it, and it's manually controlled, you fly it around, and you shoot enemy players. Obviously, that raises a lot of questions as to exactly how that works, so that's what we're going to be answering in today's video. So let's dive into some more of the details. When it comes to the score required to earn this, it's just 575, so fairly low-end streak. And by default, you spawn in with 8 sniper rounds, although the first overclock allows you to boost that up to 10 rounds. Now, once you call this streak in, it will last for a total of 40 seconds, assuming it doesn't get destroyed, of course. And it's worth noting, even if you fire all of your shots, it will still continue to fly. And you might be wondering why it would allow you to do that, like is this bugged out? Well, this also can work as a recon drone. You can manually ping enemy players while in this drone, and therefore it may be in your best interest, or your team's best interest at least, to stay in this drone even after you're empty so you can just go around pinging enemy players. Now, when it comes to the actual sniper round itself, this does have a one-shot kill potential, but it's not a one-hit kill anywhere in the body. In fact, its one-hit kill zone requires you to hit them in the upper torso, upper arms, neck, or head. Anywhere else in the body will be a 2-shot kill against a full health enemy at least. So you do have to have a little bit of precision there. And as far as I can tell with my testing, there's no range drop-off to this. So even across the map, you'll still get a one-hit kill as long as you're hitting one of those zones. Now, when it comes to our rate of fire potential on this, it's somewhat spammable. It's not like a bolt-action sniper rifle, for instance. This will fire at roughly 104 rounds per minute if you're spamming it as fast as possible, which I obviously don't recommend. I'm just showing the potential there. Also, it's worth noting you can aim down sight with this, and I was curious to see if there's any accuracy benefits there when you're not zoomed in versus zooming in. And as you can see here, it's pinpoint accurate in both cases. There's no sort of spread or anything with this. It will fire directly to the center of your screen. And one last thing to point out is the velocity value appears to be around 1,000 meters per second based on my tests, meaning you shouldn't have to lead targets most of the time if you're reasonably close to them. However, in practice, that's not been my experience, and I think the reason behind this is lag compensation works different in a score streak versus as a player, and therefore I've definitely found situations where, especially against a moving target, I do have to lead that target a little bit. And you can see an example here just as I was testing it out in a custom game against bots. I was directly on target when the shot fired, and yet I didn't get a hit there. And with a 1,000 meter per second velocity, this would be well within a hit scan range, and yet it's clearly not behaving like hit scan there. So that is something to factor in. I do find you'd have to lead your targets a little bit with this, even if they're reasonably close. And that pretty much covers it for the basic characteristics on the user's end. Outside of the second overclock, we haven't covered that yet. This one's called Grenadier, and with this, you get an attached grenade for aerial bombing. And you can see this in action right here. You get literally just one grenade, you fire it out, there is a bit of a delay on it, and they will bounce as well, so that's something you really have to try to control so you don't bounce it away from your target, and then it will just blow up as you'd expect with a grenade. Personally, I'd generally much rather go with the extended mag overclock on this, just to get that extra 2 shots, because that's often going to give you 2 extra kills just by having those 2 extra rounds, whereas with the grenade, I just find that it's very inconsistent, and I often don't get any kills with it at all. Now, like I said, that's everything from the user's perspective. What about counterplay? Well, since it is manually controlled, cold-blooded isn't going to save you from this. You won't be marked with that diamond, so it might take them a little bit longer to locate you or notice that you're an enemy rather than a teammate, but realistically for most players, it's not going to make any difference there whatsoever. So what other counterplay do we have available? Well, the first one is very simple, just shoot it. It doesn't have a whole lot of health against regular weapons. You can see here, even using a Razor SMG at this range, it only took me 7 shots to take out the Deadeye drone. That's almost instant if I'm actually going full auto with it. So honestly, that's just the easiest counter. If you hear one of these or see one of these, just shoot it. It'll go down really easily. Also, on that note, like I mentioned earlier, with having to lead targets with this, despite the fact that our bullet velocity is really high, if you do see one of these coming, you probably don't want to just like stand still and shoot at it. If you throw in some slides and some crazy movement, it's going to make you a very hard target to hit, because even if they're on target when they pull the trigger, there's a good chance they're going to be missing that shot on you. So instead of just standing still and shooting back and making yourself an easy target to hit, throw some movement in there as well, and if you do that, it's quite easy to take these out just by using your gun. However, just a few other things I wanted to point out here. the Hunter bot, which I recently made a very detailed breakdown of. If you guys haven't checked that out, I'd highly recommend it since this is a very underrated piece of equipment. This is an excellent counter to the Deadeye drone. Even without any overclocks on these Hunter bots, it only takes one single Hunter bot to get a line of sight on this drone and destroy it. So super easy to take them out with that. Also, of course, the Black Hat, which I do plan on having a very detailed breakdown on coming soon. So if you guys haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to do that so you don't miss out on any videos like this. But the Black Hat works excellent for destroying these quite easily. And another really easy one is the EMP grenade. You just have to throw this in the general vicinity. It doesn't even need a line of sight, but just the general vicinity of the drone, and it will immediately destroy it when it goes off. So it is super easy to counter these. And I think that's actually reasonable because there's a lot of power potential considering how low of a streak it is. Like I said, it's only 575 score to earn one of these. And yet, if you're accurate, with that first overclock at least, you can get 10 kills with this reasonably consistently. We'll say most people will miss a couple shots here or there. Even then, you're getting like 8 kills with a 575 score streak. And so that does have a lot of power potential, and therefore I think it's also very reasonable for there to be relatively easy counterplay to this with how low of a streak it is. Obviously, if it was a higher end streak, I would be very disappointed that it's this easy to take one out. But I actually quite like the way that they balance this here, and I wish they would do this with more streaks, where they have a lot of power potential, but also good counterplay attached to that. So if people are complacent and they just kind of let a streak do its thing, then yeah, I'm cool with it totally going off. But if people really shift their focus to actively countering it, then they should be able to do that fairly confidently. And there we have it. That's pretty much it. That's going to wrap it up for today's quick breakdown on the Deadeye drone. As for my personal thoughts, I actually really like this streak. I find it to be quite unique. We haven't had anything quite like this in Call of Duty. I mean, I guess we've had something like this with the Dragonfire drone back in Black Ops 2, but not as a sniper rifle. Like, this is different in the sense that it's that one shot, one kill sort of situation instead of spray and pray. And I find it to be a very fun streak to use as well. I feel like that's been lacking with a lot of player-controlled streaks, is the fun factor, and I think that fun factor is here since you have full control over this, and you've really got to be on your toes while controlling it because it is quite easy to destroy these. Now, of course, those are just my opinions on the Deadeye drone, and I'd love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. How are you feeling about this new score streak that they added to Black Ops 7? Do you guys like it, dislike it? If so, let me know why. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.